the review. You opened it. We came. Now you must come with us.
Club Dread.
Yes,
And that
Club
boy
Dread.
was me.
The movie I stole from the non-brother.
Yeah,
Felt so good.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Just to throw some extra disrespect on top of it, I didn't even watch the movie. I picked it and was like, nah, I don't want
I
to
watched
watch
half of
this.
it. I watched half of it.
I watched the whole thing the very next day, and I was like, I knew I liked it. I already knew I liked it, but it's been a while since I watched it. And I put it on. I was like, damn, this is a good movie. It's freaking hilarious all the way through. The characters are great.
There's a lot of good lines in there. A lot of really
Yeah,
cool, funny
for
scenes.
years.
Like I still
There's
wanna play that live action Pac-Man game that they play in there.
Yeah.
That always looked like it'd be fun to play.
hell yeah, that did. I forgot about that.
Do you, there are some lines that didn't stick out to me whenever I originally watched it, or even all the years that I have watched it. That really, I one in particular, but I'll save that one for last. But there's a joke that was in the trailer that I've seen, and I didn't really. It was just there, but it really got me this time. And that's when Lars gets introduced to Dave, the DJ, and he says, "We swapped out a 6 foot Swedish broad for this guy," and he goes, "I'm 6'1". And he's like, "Cool," but like I was laughing so hard when he said, "I'm 6'1". I was like, and I seen it before, and it never was that big of a deal to me as a joke, but it got me cracked up this time. Yeah, funny all the way through. I love how in that first scene, well, there's the first scene where there's the initial kill, and then it goes back to them coming on to to Coconut Pete's Pleasure Island. And when the camera goes through, it gives like a little reason for each of the main characters to be the killer. And each time
Yeah.
it slows down and it shows like a crazy look on their face. And it's like, oh, is this the killer? I think that's great. And maybe I don't watch enough comedy horror or something to know this, but I'm surprised I haven't seen that idea aped more in other movies, especially other comedy horror movies. Just that slow motion of every single character giving them a little tiny motive or a reason why it could be them. I thought
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that. At first, I thought it was just oh, I forget his name. So I'm like Arlie. I'm terrible with names. Um,
So right when they walk in, it's the fun police Sam. He's asked the guy
yeah,
if he has any do you have that grass that I loaned you, whatever? And he's like, no, man, whatever. And he walks past him, and then he just looks at him as he walks past, slow motion. And then
and then it goes to
it goes to Juan after that, but it doesn't really give him a motive. It does slow down on him, but it doesn't really give him a motive. And then it goes to, I think, Putnam after that, right?
yeah.
And
Who'd like
then
to
the guy that said he
party?
didn't have the grass, he brushed him off in some way. He was that guy because he was one of the first people to die, so that guy was pissing everybody off. And that's and then so then one of the girls that he goes out to the woods with, she gets drugs from Dave, and she puts the drugs in the drink, and then he asks for one, and she says, "Oh, sorry, they're spoken for," and she walks away, and he does the same thing. He looks at her in slow motion as she's walking away. I think that's great. That's great. And who's the best character in the movie?
Putman for me.
Putman, 100% Putman. Every single thing he says is a quotable line. Maybe one or two here and there when he's like talking about how much he likes Jen, when he's like trying to be sweet or whatever. But even that's funny.
Yeah.
But pretty much every single line he has is a quotable line.
Piss on that.
You've cuffed me to my deathbed, you Piccadilly hole.
I'm taking a
Give me the racket, give
machete.
me the balls.
The I could give you a little behind the scenes stuff.
Let's have it.
So he directed that movie. He's the director of all their movies.
Yeah,
Uh,
I knew that.
Jay Chandrachar or something,
Chandra Zakar? I
something
have
like
no,
that.
I know, yeah. Chandra Zakar.
He released an autobiography, and he talked about some stuff from that movie. And one of them was man, I don't know. I can't think of his real name, but Farva, the actor who plays Farva in that movie,
Kevin something, but
Kevin Heffernan.
there you go.
So you know how in Super Troopers when he gets powdered and turns around and you see his dick, like he fought against that so much, and they talked him into it. And one of the things that was said was, if he does it, then in the next movie, the director, the J guy, has to show his dick. And he said that he came up with that whole story with the dick being tucked, and when it came time, he stood up and like had everything tucked on purpose just to fuck with him, so his dick wasn't really shown. It was hilarious.
Oh wow!
And that boy was me.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's up with all that dodgy business in the jungle, but I'm haunted by the dreams.
So he came up with the story and the dick tuck and everything just to get out of showing his own dick in that.
Oh wow! See, he's definitely the
Genius
best
story,
character
though.
in that. He's the best character in Beer Fest. He might be the best character in Puddle Cruiser too. I don't think he's the best character in Super Troopers. Slammin' Salmon? No, probably not. He's good though. I really like that guy. He's also in that awesome Jackass sketch whenever the Danger Aaron was supposed to be pretending to be a terrorist, you know? And they had him as the cab driver in on the
That's
bit.
right.
So he like forced
I
him into
forgot
the
about
trunk
that.
and drove around and stuff. Like that was so good. It kills me every time I watch it. That bit's so good.
Like, there's the
Seeing
airport. Boom.
Aaron's emotions in real time, knowing that it's all going sideways, you know. And when he reaches into the cab to get him out, and he opens his thing, and he's like, "Boom, boom!" And he's like, you can tell, and he's like, "This is not working. This is not going right."
One of my favorite things from that skit comes from when they're in the trunk and you hear Bam outside and he's just like, "That's Bam Margera, he's famous." Like he's like trying to like haggle with them by be like, "That's Bam Margera,
Yeah.
he's famous."
Oh yes, because he's trying to tell him, "Hey, this is a prank. This is a prank," you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Hey.
And then they revealed to him that they had all the pubes on his beard and stuff.
Yeah, they show the video, right? They show the video of all the people shaving.
And that one text message that said, "Enjoy the crabs."
Yeah.
But
So back to Club Dread. So when Hank is telling them, like, they have the party on the beach or whatever, and he's telling the staff to go around into the rooms and just snoop around a little bit and see if they can find any evidence of who might be the killer. And when they come back, Jen is like, I didn't see anything, and Lars like, I didn't really see anything. And he looks behind him and he goes, "The guy in 14 has a wooden Bible." I don't know why, but I lost it. And I've seen the movie several times, but for some reason it's just so funny to me now. Like, why does he have a wooden Bible? Why does a wooden Bible exist? How big is it? How thick is it? Like, oh man, I don't know why, but that joke just got me. And then I love how at the end they do that riff on the killers, like always, they're never dead, they're always come back. How he dies, like 3 different times, and then at the very last one, it's just his torso that pops up out of the water because he got cut in half. And then that's when Lars is like, "Oh, come on!" And I love that. I lost it in the theater when I first saw that. He's like, "Oh, come on!" Also, another thing I wanted to shout out is that they have that one staff member whose name is You. And at least 2 different times, they do a joke about her name, and I think it's really well done. I think it's brilliant to even think about it, because it's like it shows a guy, he's kneeling and he's like picking up a trash bag or something like that, and there's like the scary music, and you can see someone going up behind him, and then the music hits a crescendo, and he turns around and he's like, "You." And then, and then the camera goes to her, and she's like, "Yeah, hey, do this and that, just normal thing." But that's funny. And then again, after she dies, her and Hank die. Then Juan goes into the shack where everybody's at, and he's like, "You and Hank are dead." And then Bill Paxton's like, "Well, why? What did we do?" And he's like, "No, you and Hank are dead." And he's like, "You threatening me?" And so that's funny that 2 different times they were able to use that joke, and it worked both times.
That's-
So yeah, we gotta mention the late great Bill Paxton
that
in the movie.
that
Yeah.
was my
Coconut
favorite
Pete.
role he's ever done.
Mm-hmm. Really sang all the songs. You can tell it's him singing all the songs. It sounds just like him.
Oh no, that was AI back then. Crazy, right?
Could you imagine?
Pina colada birch.
He's like,
No,
can any
love
of you
margarita.
can any of you tell me the secret ingredient? Pineapple Pete's
Oh,
papaya
Coconut Pete's.
or coconut
Oh,
Pete's
yeah,
papaya?
yeah. Coconut?
Yes, God damn it, yes. It's
Am I the only bloody hell, Jen? Am I the only one? Putman's so good. Can you believe he'd never played Cox and Quarters before? Everything he says.
he's
Piss on that, I'm thinking of machete.
Speaking of freaks and geeks, there Neil played a little cameo in that.
He did. Sam
I
Levine.
loved his little scene when he kept speaking about that, like that line in particular when he's like, "Cox and quarters." He's like, "Pip pip, cheerio." Fucking, we gotta.
Yeah, it was cool to see
Like,
him
what
in
you
something
should
because I
be
haven't
playing
really
is how
seen
to
him in
get
anything.
pussy.
It's crazy that out of all of them, Martin Starr has got, like, at least out of the geeks, Martin Starr has gotten the biggest. Not for any particular
Yeah.
reason. I like them all. I just I don't know who I would have guessed was going to be the breakout, but I really liked Neil
Well, I
in the
mean,
show. And John Daly, he does stuff behind the scenes. He directs, produces, writes, stuff like that. Although he was in
yeah, I know
Bones,
the principles, right? Yeah, he was. I was like, they've all really done little stuff.
and
I
he
would
was
say
in
the
Waiting,
least is probably.
and he had a very small part in Horrible Bosses.
Really?
Yeah, he worked at Jason Bateman's office, but he's only in it for he doesn't really do anything substantial.
like a
Yeah, it's like one of those
blink and you miss
little
him.
blurred things.
Yeah, you could say that. Blink and you miss him. He has a couple of lines, but yeah, he's not a big player in the movie. Because he communicates with his like assistant there a few times, and he's there like at the beginning when they're in the meeting. He's like sitting next to him in the meeting. He says a word to him here or there, but yeah, he's not in very much. But he's in it. Oh, but I think he wrote that. I think he wrote Horrible Bosses. I think he had something to do with that movie behind the scenes, 100%. Producing, directing, writing. He did something to it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think Club Dread is fantastic. I think it does a really good job with having all the horror elements of this slasher movie and just making everything funny too. I mean, it works. I think it works on every level.
Would you say it's the best Broken Lizards movie that they've done?
Broken
Ooh.
Lizard is so good. It's hard for me to say that.
Oh,
Oh.
hi, Harley.
I don't have a strong. Oh, there she is. Hi.
Oh, what'd you have? What do you get? A bracelet? Oh, very cool.
Very
Nice.
nice. I'm jealous.
Uncle Pat says he's jealous.
Ask her what she thinks about Club Dread.
What do you think about the movie Club Dread? A thumbs
Thumbs
in the
up?
middle?
Yeah.
Just in the middle?
Okay,
Okay.
that's something. I would rate it much higher than that.
If we're gonna rate it, I would give it 4.5 machetes.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a
That
good one.
is. It's a good rating
I'm like-
scale. I like that.
I'm gonna give it 4.5 Piccadilly holes. What about you?
I want to give it so close to a 5 because it's one of my favorite comedy horror movies. There's only 3 comedy horrors that always stand out. Scary Movie 2, Shaun of the Dead, and Club Dread. And Club Dread is, I know I saved it for last, but that's because it is the best, I would say, even compared to Scary Movie 2, which is why I wanted to pick it. Because even though I thought of Scary Movie 2 because of how huge it was, I would still say that Club Dread was above it. And I'm going with 4.75, man.
4.75 what?
Machetes. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna steal his rating scale?
Yeah. He
I'll,
stole my movie.
I'll give him the
I don't know about
machetes.
that.
Yeah.
I might have to postpone the game another week after that.
I'll give him the machetes, and I'll give mine a 4.8. Motherfuckers.
Because then you'll just have pony cock.
Do not forget to stab that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and comment your thoughts below.